hall as we are expecting chief guest shortly.
Yet like him sit top. Yet you top like him sit. You get sure?
लाइट थी वो याद होता हूँ युथी याद युथी क्या चल प्रोग्राम ये हो तम साथ चुके लाइट थी तो मत याद
फिर आप कब दोगे हमें ये फोटोज? कितनी बात दो हेलो हाँ आगे ओके वीसी सर आगे
कहाँ है
बाहर
इंतजार में जल्दी लोगों
All the delegates, please come inside the hall as the chief guest has arrived.
तो इसको इनवाइट करेंगे, प्लीज ऑक्यूपाई द सीट ऑन द पोडियम। ये क्या है ये?
माइक गई माइक है लाइव बस चल त्रेश बोतल ऑफ सूर में कुर्सी सूर में कुर्सी अनु बन कि नहीं यार डाली यार अभिजन त्रेश बोतल ऑफ त्रेश hello
Get them.
seriously that is my lobby heater
Chief guest has arrived in the hall. Welcome him, sir.
applause cancel ना कौन दरिया को ड्राइव जो बोलते हैं कर अनाउंस पूरा ये Huh? Wasip? Wasip sir? Ha, permission. Permission. Here, the food.
I'm sure. Can I start?
In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Esteemed Chief Guest of today's function, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Skuast-K, Professor Nazir Ahmad Ganai, Revered Guest of Honor of today's function, Colonel S.K. Dania, 50 from 54 Advanced Field Vet Hospital, Worthy Dean Faculty of Veterinary Science and Animal Husbandry, Professor M.T. Bande, Vice President ISACP, Professor N.A. Sudan, Professor Abdul Hai, President SVSA, Organizing Secretary of ISACP 2024, Professor Amatul Mahi, other dignitaries of the dais, heads for various divisions, galaxy of stalwarts of veterinary profession, delegates from different quarters of the country, scholars, students, media personnel, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon to all. I, Dr. Najmana, Assistant Professor, Veterinary Public Health and Epidemiology, your host for the session, feel privileged to extend a warm welcome to you all on the occasion of World Veterinary Day Celebration 2024, an annual event of veterinary profession that is celebrated on the last Saturday of April. This day is dedicated to recognize the efforts of veterinarians all over the world. And today, simultaneously, we have valedictory function of 3 days National Congress on Canine Practice and National Symposium on Insights on Latest Developments in Companion Animal Practice and Healthcare Management, organized by the Division of Veterinary Clinical Complex, FPSCNAH, Skuast-K, that started on 25th of this month. Before starting today's proceedings, may we all stand up for the national anthem, please. Now may I request IT team to play University Tarana. Please play University Tarana. to their university Karana. It's great honor for our university, particularly Faculty of Veterinary Sciences, that we have with us today stalwarts of veterinary profession from different quarters of the country as we celebrate the World Veterinary Day and the veterinary profession and the amazing work vets do every day to care for animal companions and the pivotal role vets play in protecting the animal and human health. Now, with this, may I request the worthy Dean of the Faculty of Veterinary Science and Animal Husbandry, Professor M.T. Barde, for the formal welcome address and brief us about the event.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, the most beneficial and merciful, esteemed guests, faculty members, and dear colleagues, I am deeply honored to welcome you all for the World Veterinary Day celebration 2024 here in the Faculty of Veterinary Sciences and Animal Husbandry, Skuast-K, Shuhama. As Dean of this faculty, it gives me great pleasure to extend a warm welcome to our distinguished guests, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Nazir Ahmad Ganai, sir. Sir, we are very thankful to you despite this busy schedule. We are also thankful to Commandant 54 Advanced Field Veterinary Hospital, Colonel S.K. Dahiya, and esteemed former Director of Research, SCOS, Jammu, Professor Nazir Ahmad Sudan, sir. Your presence here today is a testament to your unwavering support for our institution and the vital role of veterinary sciences in our society. As we gather here to commemorate the World Veterinary Day, we are reminded of the critical importance of veterinary professionals in the safeguarding the health and well-being of both animals and humans. This year's theme is veterinarians or the essential health workers. It resonates deeply with the core ethos of our profession. It underscores the pivotal role that veterinarians play as frontline defense promoters of the food security and advocate for the animal welfare. In the Faculty of Veterinary Sciences, Shuhama, we are committed to excellence in the education, research, and services in the field of veterinary sciences. Our faculty members and students are engaged in cutting-edge research and innovative initiatives aimed at addressing the most pressing challenges facing the animal and human health, from pioneering advancement in the veterinary medicine to promoting sustainable agriculture practices. Our institution is at the forefront of the positive change. Today, as we celebrate the remarkable achievements of veterinary professionals worldwide, we also recognize the urgent need for collective action to address the emerging threats such as the climate change, antimicrobial resistance, and zoonotic diseases. These challenges require interdisciplinary collaboration, for which we will be starting the One Health program and a renowned commitment to the promoting the health and well-being of our planet and its inhabitants. As we reflect on the profound impact of veterinary science on the society, let us reaffirm our shared commitment to the advancing the principles of the integrity and excellence in all aspects of our work. Together we can build a brighter future for animals, humans, and the planet we call home. At the end, I would like to once again thank you all the esteemed guests for their presence here today and for their continual support of our institution. Let us seize this opportunity to celebrate the invaluable contributions of veterinary professionals worldwide, to rededicate ourselves to the noble mission of safeguarding the health and welfare of animals and human alike. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we would like to felicitate our dignitaries on the dais. May I request Dean, Faculty of Veterinary Sciences, Professor Hamti Bande, to felicitate Honorable Vice Chancellor and the Chief Guest of today's function with a bouquet and a memento.
नहीं नहीं ये मत ये मत
May I request Dean sir again to felicitate our guest of honor for today's function, Colonel S.K. Dahiya Sahab. Now may I request President SVSA, Professor Albert High, to felicitate Dean Veterinary Faculty, Professor Ramji Pandey sir, with a memento. And again request President SVSA, Professor Albert High sir, to felicitate Professor N.S. Sujam sir, Vice President ISACP. Now may I request the Organizing Secretary of the Conference, ISACP 2024, Professor Ahmad Al-Mumi, to felicitate President SVSA, Professor Abdul Hai, with a memento. Thank you. Coming to the theme of this year's World Veterinary Day, as chosen by World Veterinary Association, is veterinarians are essential health workers. Veterinarians' competencies must be regarded as an essential and integral part of health at large. The application of veterinary science contributes not only to animal health and well-being, but also to human, physical, mental, and social well-being. This dimension of the veterinarian work often remains invisible to the society, but protecting and improving the health of people and their communities is an essential part of the veterinary profession. Now with this, may I invite the distinguished public health veterinarian of this faculty, Dr. Mudassir Ali Rathar, my senior colleague in the Division of Veterinary Public Health, for the theme-based lecture.
यहाँ पे डिपिक्ट नहीं होगा हाँ हाँ पे चेंज Honorable Vice Chancellor Skuast-K, other revered dignitaries on the dais, distinguished delegates, other eminent scientists, dear colleagues and students, Assalamu alaikum and a very warm good afternoon to all of you. It's indeed a privilege and honor to address such an august audience on this auspicious occasion of World Veterinary Day. I must admit the challenge of challenge of addressing such an august audience, including my teachers, is quite humbling and it's exhilarating. The World Veterinary Day is celebrated every year on the last Saturday with a specific theme. And the theme this year is the role of veterinarians as essential health workers. Now this theme, it underscores our role as essential health workers as a frontline guardians for safeguarding human and animal health, particularly in the wake of emerging diseases, zoonotic threats, as well as emerging global crises. Therefore, it's a need of ours that we as veterinarians need to implement this One Health program. Now, historically, the veterinarians have been essential in contributing to the development of both human and animal health. And since the Sir William Osler, who is a physician and co-founder of John Hopkins Hospital, he said that there is only one medicine, and it's very difficult to distinguish between the two. The role of research involving animals, it has led to our better understanding of the basic physiological mechanisms and how they are helping us in advancing the medical sciences. Now, the role of animals dates back to 2000 BC, when Babylonians and the Assyrians, they used animals to perform surgeries, and then these surgeries were also performed on the humans. Now, the role of in the last century, I would say most of the advances in the medical research have come from are dependent on animal experimentation. If you see, the first syringe was developed by a veterinarian, and the parenteral injection of medication was first of all done by a veterinarian. We were first to infuse spinal anesthesia in animals, and we were the first, the veterinarians were the first who showed that the disease can be transmitted by our reports. We were the first who used vaccines for treating virus-induced cancers, and all these technologies developed were then implemented for betterment of the human medicine. If we see the pioneer works of Louis Pasteur on anthrax and rabies, the Koch's postulate on the causation of the disease, the William Batson's chicken experiments involving the inheritance of traits, and the Charles Darwin's theory of evolution all involved animal experimentation. In 1886, Daniel E. Salmon, who is the discoverer of the salmonella, he used the first-scale vaccine. A French veterinarian, Gaston Ramon, who discovered diphtheria and tetanus toxoid, it saved countless number of humans and animal lives. A US veterinarian, William Feldman, he pioneered tuberculosis chemotherapy. Till 1944, there was no specific regime or treatment of tuberculosis in animals, but he pioneered chemotherapy against the tuberculosis to treat the disease. You see, most of the dangerous pathogens which have been identified, may it be a salmonella, may it be Trypanosoma evans, may it be Drusilla abortus, may it be Drusilla suis, and many more, all have been discovered and identified by the veterinarians. In recently, Albert Bourla, who is the CEO of Pfizer, he was pioneer and he put in a lot of efforts to develop the COVID-19 vaccine. So all these, we veterinarians should be proud of all these achievements the veterinarians which they have contributed towards the betterment and advancing of the science in general and medical sciences in particular. Now veterinarians, they play a myriad of roles for safeguarding human and animal health. But my focus today will be their critical roles involved in safeguarding the public health and the advocating of One Health concept, as well as protecting human and protecting animal health. Now, veterinarians play a pivotal role in safeguarding the human health through multifaceted approach. They are instrumental in controlling the zoonosis, thereby mitigating a potential public health threat. Additionally, they are involved to ensure food safety and security by implementing rigorous control measures to render food safe for human consumption. Now, they are the frontline workers to combat antimicrobial resistance, which is a pressing global health issue and which needs a vigilant stewardship. Their expertise is indispensable during medical emergencies like the pandemics or the natural disasters, and they have a huge role in minimizing the impact on the human and animal health. Now let's discuss each of these separately. One of the important issues that veterinarian has to deal with is combating zoonosis. Now, if you see of the 1400 odd pathogens that are known to infect humans, around 868 pathogens are those which are of zoonotic origin. What is more alarming is that during the last 2 decades, around 175 diseases have been categorized as emerging diseases, and of these 132, that is 75%, are of zoonotic origin. Now, overall, around 200 zoonotic diseases have been identified, and only 13 of these 200 zoonotic diseases, they are responsible for 2.4 billion illnesses and 2.3 million deaths every year. And the poor livestock keepers, they are at the increasing risk of contracting the disease because of their close proximity to humans. Now, these data underscore that it's very important to know about the zoonotic disease and how we can control these zoonotic diseases. And recently, if you see most of the pandemics or epidemics that has caused around the globe, may it be swine flu, may it be bird flu, may it be SARS or Zika virus or hemorrhagic fevers or recently COVID-19, most of them or all of them are of zoonotic origin. Now it's important to understand what has led to the emergence of zoonotic diseases. And medical anthropologists, they have identified a series of epidemiological transitions that led to the emergence and resurgence of zoonosis. And it is said that advent of agriculture probably triggered the first epidemic. During the prehistoric times, the man used to live a nomadic life. He would wander from one place to another in search of food. And the little wastes were produced in the process. These wastes were taken care of by nature, but this harmonious coexistence between man and nature is suffered with the passage of the time by the discoveries made by man. And it is said that advent of the agriculture, it probably triggered the first epidemic. Why? Because once the man started planting crops, he lived at a particular location. He lived in a fixed location. And as a result of this, a lot of wastes were produced, and then he domesticated the animals as well. The rodent population grew on these wastes. As such, there was close proximity between man and animals. And this led to the sharing of pathogens between man and animals. Now this Yersinia pestis, which is the causative agent of plague, it is thought to have originated from Yersinia pseudotuberculosis, which is a relatively benign pathogen and which is transmitted through fecal-oral route. But how does this pathogen, a benign pathogen, transmit a pathogen of high virulence, because it found a new host in the form of rat, and it evolved in a rat, and it turned it into a different pathogen which was transmitted through vectors by the fleas. And this plague, it has led to, it's called as the mother of all pandemics. It has led to many of the epidemics and pandemics, and basically it has led to 3 pandemics since 450 AD. And in one of the pandemics, around half of the European population was wiped out. 1/3 of population of Asia was wiped out. So it was such a disaster disease, but it evolved from a pathogen which was relatively benign. Now there are other pathogens like human measles virus is thought to have originated from sheep, and human rhinovirus, which is responsible for the common cold, it has been thought to have originated from bovines. So it was possible because of the close sharing of the environment between man and animal. Then came the second epidemiological transition, which began around a century ago. And during this era, that's in around 1910, infectious diseases. Why? Because there was better nutrition, there was better public health measures, and there was medical intervention. And this era by United States Institute of Medicine says it's called as era of complacency. What is complacency? Complacency is an overconfidence, if we will say in a plain language. A man became overconfident. In 1948, the United States Secretary of State pronounced that that we can conquest all the infectious disease. 19 years later, in 1967, the United States Surgeon General William Stewart, he went on to say, and he declared that war against the infectious disease has been won. This statement, although premature, but it was understandable at that time. Why? Because rheumatic fever and polio was eradicated, smallpox was nearly eradicated, we had childhood vaccines, and we had arsenal of more than 25,000 miraculous drugs, which we call as antibiotics. There was a Nobel laureate virologist, he was even seduced into heady optimism. He said that to write about an infectious disease would be to write about something that has passed in the history. He further mentioned, if you tell me the likely forecast of the infectious disease, it will be very boring, that it will be dull. When there will be no infections, what should I write about it? So this was the overconfident. But this confidence was shattered during the third epidemiological transition, which roughly are seeing is creative kingdom jumping. The Ebola virus is a reservoir in the plants, and from these plants it goes to the frugivorous birds, frugivorous bats, and then to the humans. That is, there is jump of virus from kingdom plantae to kingdom animalia. So there is a further United States Institute of Medicine report of 2003 says that if coordinated control efforts are not implemented, we can have a catastrophic storm of infection. This was the report of 2003. And since 2003, you see how many epidemics, and may it be the bird flu or the swine flu or the Ebola or the Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever or COVID-19. Why? Because we have not implemented the coordinated control efforts. And then is the fourth epidemiological transition. We are probably living in the third epidemiological transition, wherein the intervention of man has led to the emergence of many of the zoonotic diseases. May it be the ecological encroachment in the forests, where we are exposed to little fauna and flora, and a very good example is Kaizenur forest disease, wherein man wandered into the forest to agriculture that land, and we were exposed to the pathogens which we would not have been exposed to. Or you see there is a sylvatic zoonosis. You see what has led to the COVID-19 or Ebola, because the bush meat, we are eating the meat of wild animals. Particularly is this COVID-19 is thought to have emerged due to consumption of meat of Skuast-K. So it is very important that we know about this disease, we prevent this disease in the animals, and we educate the people again about this zoonotic disease, and collaborative efforts are implemented in order to control these zoonotic diseases. The contribution of veterinarians is essential to ensure food safety and security. Now, if you see the World Health Organization report, every year around 600 million people they fall ill because of the contaminated food, leading to the 4,20,000 deaths. And most of them are children under 5 years of age. That's 1 in 3 that die of the foodborne disease are children. Therefore, and the Center for Disease Control, they say that every year in the United States alone, $15.6 billion are lost because of the hospitalizations due to foodborne diseases. Now, these statistics indicate that it's pivotal that we control these foodborne disease, and veterinarian has a very important role to ensure that safe and hygienic food is produced from foods of animal origin. The other concerning issue is the food security. The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations says that every year around 820 million people they don't have access to the safe food, or they don't have access to the food. They are hunger driven. Therefore, veterinarians have a very important role to play in, as we have been pivotal in implementing the wild revolution. Now, because of the increased demand of meat, we may need to shift towards pink revolution, and veterinarians can play an important role in making us self-sufficient. If not anywhere, but I think in Kashmir it's must, because you all must have known that we are ferocious meat eaters. The other pressing issue that veterinarians has to deal with is mitigating antimicrobial resistance. Currently, as per the World Health Organization report and United Nations FAO report, every year right now 1.3 million people they die because of the antimicrobial resistant bugs. And the report further says, if we do not make coordinated control efforts, by 2050, 10 million people will die every year due to antimicrobial resistance, which is more than any other ailment or any other disease condition. So it's very important that we understand about this antimicrobial resistance. And veterinarians can play an important role to decrease or to mitigate this antimicrobial resistance through various steps. The first thing is antibiotic stewardship, that we have to use antibiotics judiciously. What mostly happens that not all the clinicians, but many of the clinicians, if there is a disease, there is no proper diagnosis, and we prescribe antibiotics, irrespective whether that animal needs antibiotic or not. And that is contributing to the development of antibiotic resistance. We have to be judicious, and we have to first of all diagnose the disease, and then only we can prescribe the antibiotics. There was my friend during our undergraduation degree, he would say कि हमारे पास जो भी केस आता है तो हम क्या करते हैं हम उसको एंटीबायोटिक एक लगाते हैं, एक एंटी इन्फ्लेमेटरी, एक एंटीबायोटिक और एक एपिटाइजर लगाते हैं, तो हर एक एनिमल में यही चलता है। तो हम क्या करेंगे, हम एक गोला बनाएंगे, जो भी एनिमल आता है उसको वो गोला देंगे। बट दैट प्रैक्टिस हैज टू चेंज, दैट प्रैक्टिस नीड्स टू बी चेंज्ड. We should only prescribe antibiotics only if it is required, because these gut microflora they play an important role in the health of humans. For example, if we consider humans, they are important for immunocompetency, they are important for digestive system, they are important for overall health. There was a study in Nature Microbiology which said they conducted the study on the bees, and they found that those bees whose microflora was diverse, they had better memory. So everything in our system is regulated by the gut microflora, and the more diverse the gut flora, the more immunocompetent and more healthy we are. But what we are doing, we are injudiciously taking antibiotics. हमें अगर कोई भी viral fever होता है, what we do, we take antibiotics. Yeah, secondary infection develop हो सकता है. No, this is not the practice. If you are diagnosed with viral disease, you necessarily need not to take antibiotics, because what we are doing, we are eliminating the beneficial bacteria, and in our gut we are keeping only the harmful and antimicrobial resistant bacteria. So that practice is to, we have to desist from that practice, and that practice is to be followed in animals as well. We should only prescribe antibiotics only if it is required in an animal. The other thing is the minimal use of antibiotics in food animals. And it's very important because it contributes to the emergence of antimicrobial resistance. If you see, I went to one other conference in Shalimar. It was regarding poultry, and a medical representative, he handed a pamphlet to me. And on that pamphlet, I saw one of the antibiotics that was cholesterol sulfate. I was shocked and surprised. How can you use antibiotic in animals? Because it's an antibiotic of last resort against drug-resistant bacteria, against the superbugs. And I inquired about with that manager or whatever he was, he they are giving it. But when I studied that it is used in food animals, so do we really need to use antibiotic of last resort? And now resistance has been developed against these as well. And what it has led to, it has led to rethink about the use of this antibiotic in the human use now. So the other thing is surveillance. We have to continuously surveillance animals or other sources for antimicrobial resistance. There was a very interesting study conducted by the NASA. It was recently published in April 16, 2024. That they analyzed the microflora, the bacteria which were present in the International Space Station shuttle. And what they found, that there are bacteria which were highly resistant to many of the antimicrobials as compared to their counterparts on the earth. And why this has led? It didn't affect the survivability or the fitness of the bacteria, it had only mutated to be a more antimicrobial resistance. And why was this? Because of the mutation, the microgravity and the radiations in there were mutations, and it only kept those mutations which will help him survive better on the earth or against the antibiotics. So this is an important lesson. This is an important lesson. Downward antibiotic will throw at bacteria, they will evolve and they will develop resistance against it. Therefore, what is the best way? It's the alternative strategies. Like we can use biological strategies like use of bacteriophage or use of probiotic strains or use of disease resistant animals in order to combat this antimicrobial resistance. And I have been asked to conclude, so the role of veterinarians is very important during responding to the emergencies. Like in pandemics, we have seen, we had many COVID warriors from our institute as well, which helped in the diagnosis of COVID when it was at the peak. We have role played in disasters and as well as biosecurity. Now, if we have to combat any of or all these challenges, the one advocacy of one is important. That is, for example, if I take a single example of rabies cannot be controlled, all such disease cannot be controlled until and unless a veterinarian ensures that animals are vaccinated and a stringent animal birth control is followed. The other thing is that municipal corporation or those people who are involved in like maintaining the hygiene or garbage management, until and unless they don't do their work properly. Moreover, medicos, if they don't prescribe the proper vaccination schedule, the wound management and the awareness, we cannot control the disease. Therefore, it's very important that we work in tandem, we work collectively to eliminate any public health menace. Now it's said that good veterinarians talk to animals and great veterinarians hear them talk back. I know here many of are such that they are the great veterinarians and they hear animals talk back and they relieve animals of their sufferings and pain, and it does not only alleviate them of the pain, it also contributes the human mental well-being of humans. How? because now we are close a poor farmer or a person who is alone, he is strongly attached to an animal. Therefore, if we are alleviating pain or if we are curing an animal, it's a great thing which we can do. And what are the future directions? The field of veterinary science is constantly evolving, and there are various future directions for a veterinarian, like precision livestock farming, or regenerative medicine, or telemedicine, and digital health, and disease forecasting. Veterinarians can play important role. Because I have to cut short, I will just conclude by saying there is a saying of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him: a good deed done to an animal is as meritorious as good deed done to a human being, while an act of cruelty to an animal is as bad as an act of cruelty to a human being. This means if we are saving an animal, we are saving a human being, and it's quite rewarding and quite satisfying. With these words, I thank worthy Dean for giving me this opportunity to interact with you all, and I thank you all for patient hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mudassir, for this beautiful presentation and insightful elaboration about the theme of this year, Veterinary Day. No doubt, vets play a pivotal role in One Health, and without vets, One Health concept is impossible. Moving forward, uh, Dr. Anil has an announcement to make regarding the quiz program that was conducted during these World Veterinary Day celebrations.
Very good afternoon to all. We here at the faculty, with respect to the theme of the World Veterinary Day 2024, conducted a quiz led by Professor Prem Head Division of, and we would like to congratulate and felicitate the winners. So I would ask the winning teams, one of the students, select the mementos and half of them. So the first position was secured by Ubaid Hassan, Ubaid Shami, and Hilal Ahmed from 4th and 3rd year. Please, Ubaid, Wes, or Hilal, collect your mementos and certificates. Please be quick. The second position was secured by students of 2nd year, Mohammed Saleh Qureshi, and Hakeem Modes. So one of you please come and collect the mementos and certificates. I request the honorable dignitaries on the dais to please felicitate our students. The third position was secured by Sheikh Sadaq Gulzar, Afaq, and Rutba Ijaz. Anyone present out of the 3 here? Please come and collect your memento. Thank you, everyone.
Besides celebrating World Veterinary Day 2024, we are also at the end of 3 days National Congress on Canine Practice and National Symposium on insights on latest developments in companion animal practice and healthcare management that started on 25th of April. So, as we are here today, we reflect on the invaluable exchange of knowledge, ideas, and experiences that have defined this enriching event. For the past few days, we have witnessed the convergence of minds dedicated to advancing the frontiers of veterinary science From novel research presentations to insightful panel discussion, this conference has been a testament to our collective passion for excellence in animal care and welfare. With this, I would like to invite the organizing secretary of ISACP 2024, Professor Abatul Muhi, to give us the report about the proceedings of the conference. Ma'am, please.
Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. All happy World Veterinary Day of us. It's really an honor to be presenting the conference report of ISACP 2024, organized by the Division of Veterinary Clinical Complex from 25th to 27th April at FPAC and at Shuhama. And during the 3D conference, total of 13 sessions were held, including thematic session, keynote session, and one MVAC session, award session. And total 19 lead papers were presented, and 48 oral and poster presentations were made in these sessions. And some of the few recommendations that we could conclude from the conference that include antioxidants and use of herbal medicine may be promising in the control of canine parasitic diseases. All veterinary colleges should be equipped with pediatric and geriatric emergency units. DVM-like programs in India should be started, and age part from them should be excluded. Artificial insemination in canine practice could be a new employment generation venture for all the vets, and canine semen banks should be established in the country. Canine nutrition should be emphasized to prevent obesity and reproductive disorders, and a certificate from vets should be obtained regarding the absence of cardiac disease in them before purchasing them. And these were some of the few recommendations which we could get from the conference proceedings. And the conference report will be submitted to this society shortly, and for onwards submission to the policy makers. Thank you, one and all. These were all. This was a gist of all the.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we would like to have some feedback from the participants or the delegates that were present over here from last 3 days. Anyone who can just come over here and give us your valuable feedback. Please.
Yeah, myself, Dr. Muzaffar. I am representing field veterinarians. Actually, sir, I have already shared some feedbacks, but to add on this, as already few institutions have already started technology-enabled distance education mode, so it is kind request keeping in with the busy schedule, government services. But there is urgent need to hands-on training. Okay, but just capacity building programs should be, because when field veterinarians face a lot of challenges, that will be at his basic institution or the district hospitals. People expect everything from a field veterinarian, so a field veterinarian should be fully equipped to handle day-to-day issues. It is kind request that different programs, hands-on training as well as technology-enabled programs must be started at our very institution, Skuast-K, FASC and H will be a great help from this institute. Thanks.
We would also like to felicitate different members of different communities and their members who work so hard for the success of this conference. Now may I repeat the co-organizers of this conference, and Shami, although he is not here, on his behalf, Dr. Zubair will take the momentum. Professor Mohammed Salim Mir, Associate Director Research, probably he is also not here, and on his behalf, may I request his friend or anyone who can take on his behalf. On behalf of Muslim sir, Professor Chancellor will take it. Dr. Iqbal Yadur, Dr. Shahid Hussain Dar, Professor Division of Veterinary Clinical Complex, on behalf of Dr. Riyaz Ahmed Bhatt, Dr. Iqbal Yadur, Dr. Nabi, also included this, and he's one of the co-organizers. I request Dr. Malika Gulzar to take the memento. I request Dr. Krishna Masopi, Assistant Professor, Division of Veterinary Clinical Complex, one of the coordinators, and to take on behalf of other coordinators like Dr. Mudassir Bashir Gajju, Dr. Raja Ejaz, Dr. Ghulam Rasul Bhatt. I request Dr. Shahnaz Bashir, Assistant Professor, Division of Veterinary Epidemiology and Preventive Medicine, to take memento. Dr. Nusrat Hassan, Assistant Professor, Division of Veterinary Epidemiology and Preventive. Now coming to Technical and Publication Committee, Chairman Professor Mohammad Altaf Bhatt. Registration Committee Chairman Professor Sabia Qureshi. Anyone from Registration Committee? Food and Refreshment Committee Chairman Professor Dr. H.M. Khan. Accommodation Committee Chairman Professor Abdul Hai. Cultural Committee Chairman Dr. Azad Ahmad Ahangar. Transport Committee Chairman Dr. Feroz Ahmad Lone. Anyone from Transport Committee can take on his behalf. Fundraising Committee Dr. Riyaz Ahmad Shah. Dr. Shawki, please come and take your. Call and Dice Management Committee Chairperson Professor Said Shahnaz. Purchase Committee Chairman Professor Zadid Bakori. So she worked really, really hard. Banner and Certificate Committee Chairman Dr. Javed Iqbal. Anyone from Banner and Certificate Committee? IT Committee Chairman Professor Mudassir Andrabi. Or anyone from the IT Committee? IT Committee, Mr. Akhil, please. Press and Media Committee Chairman Professor Azmat Alam Khan. Invitation Committee Chairman Professor Ayush Sheikh. also like to acknowledge the support of from our sponsors by felicitating them with the mementos. Name few we have Winback, Class, Sarawak, and Company, Ramesh Traders, NK Bank. Anyone, any representative from them, please come here and receive the mementos. As a Media Committee Chairman, Professor Asmat Alam, sir, please come over here and take your oath. Sponsors, Winback, Intas, Sarawak, we have with us today Vice President of ISACP, stalwart of veterinary profession, and the founder member of FASN Skuast-K, and he has also been the former Valedictory Sir, Skuast Jammu. So please enlighten us with your thoughts and vision.
Dignitaries of the Dais, President Nazir Ahmed Ganai Saab, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Kashmir, Colonel S.K. Daya, Guest of Honor, Dr. M.T. Bande, Dean of the Faculty, Dr. Hai, Head Division of Veterinary Extension, Dr. Muhi, Organizing Secretary of this 20th conference. I have not to chair this session because of the absence of our President, Dr. Prathaban, and General Secretary. I have been assigned the duty to chair this valedictory on behalf of the SCAP. I am very glad to hear. I feel very pleasure because most of the students from Skuast-K and Jammu are now heading of this department. This faculty, which I have seen in 1985 when I joined here, there is a progressive development in this. It was in my dream at that time. Now this faculty has become one of the best faculty in the country as well as in the state of. And it is because of the new leadership of Professor Ganesh Saab, who is taking the lead decision. And this conference was held one of the best leading society of the country. I hope that in future other conferences are to be conducted here. Because just to highlight this faculty, just like we. And I always pray to the God that this faculty go ahead and the students, they are the future of this faculty. and mostly my colleagues are here. Some has retired, they have also come here. We have worked together. Dr. Ganesh Saab is taking so much time. The whole of the university, our veterinary college and other. When we have constructed this clinic as a small room in Vasul, I have just talking to myself. And my dream was that we have very big clinical complex. It has progressively, it has been developed a lot. It will develop a lot. And under your leadership, I would hope that every year we should have a complex to all the people from the country, right from Kanyakumari to, and the work has been done by very, Dr. Movi has taken the lead because I was insisting for the last so many years to protect a NEO he has managed very nicely. He has, and not he, Dr. Bande has, and given the wholehearted support from the Vice Chancellor and the Dean and all the faculty members. And students and teachers are, they have worked very nicely. Most of the people from whole the country, they are very happy that very nice arrangement has been done for their stay, accommodation, transport and other. Because of the 2 days weather is not very good, but anyhow, they have enjoyed here. And one more thing, I am also announcing on behalf of the society that the next conference will be proposed at Chennai. Already has been approved. He has a letter, I don't know. I hope that this everything goes well, Allah with that. This hall is very good, very, very important for the country. Hope that you will all do. Thank you.
So much, sir. We all are very lucky enough to have with us Colonel S.P. Dahiya, guest of honor of today's function. Graduate of College of Veterinary Science, Rajendra Nagar, Hyderabad, and postgraduate in the Department of Surgery from CCS HAU Hisar. And he has having been serving in the remote and veterinary corps for more than 2 decades now. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invite. May I request you for the address, please.
Jai Hind and a very good afternoon. Dear Dr. Nazir Ahmed, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Skuast Kashmir, Dr. M.T. Bande, Dean Faculty of Veterinary Science, officials of the university, members, esteemed delegates of the National Congress, and my dear students. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with a great pleasure and pride that I stand before you today on this auspicious occasion of World Veterinary Day as a rep of veterinarians in Olive Green and from the fraternity of the Remount and Veterinary Corps, and I am presently the commandant of an advanced field veterinary hospital located here in Srinagar, which covers the entire UT of Kashmir and Ladakh. I am honored to get this opportunity, sir, to come to the stage and address you all and share my thoughts on this auspicious occasion. I am very well aware that today's gathering, and in the gathering I am speaking on a subject where I have people more qualified than me who have seen the life of a veterinarian more than me. But since I stand here today, it is my duty to deliver my thoughts. First of all, as the presenter introduced me, I am a graduate of College of Veterinary Science, Hyderabad, and did my masters in surgery from erstwhile CCS HAU Hisar, now Luvas. And as Dr. Mudassir was highlighting the importance of World Veterinary Day and the importance of this year's theme, it is very important. It is very important that the organization, which dates back to 1761, from few veterinarians who get together and they exchange their thoughts, and from that a group of few veterinarians, today it has become a World Veterinary Association, And from past 24 years, we have been celebrating World Veterinary Day all over the world. And it is an important day in today's world to represent our profession to the society. And that is why this year's theme, although a little late, it has been designated as veterinarians are essential health workers. It actually honors the veterinarians and highlight the importance of the veterinary profession in keeping our society safe and disease free. And moreover, the dimensions of the veterinarians are very rarely recognized by the other faculty, other parts of the government. It was only during COVID-19 outbreak that the government, various departments all over the world, they realized that we have a third fighting force in healthcare professionals. Otherwise, they were focusing only on medicos and paramedics. But during COVID-19, when we had the crisis and we were shortage of healthcare workers, that time the governments realized that we have a qualified professionals who can contribute to the society, and that is how the veterinarians, paravets were roped in the as healthcare workers, and they have contributed a lot during the outbreak. And this now have generated a concept, as Dr. Mudassir was speaking about, the concept of One Health. Now we have gone far beyond zoonosis. Zoonosis was limited to only the diseases which are communicable from human to man and vice versa. But now this One Health concept has given a lot of impetus to our profession. And in the times to come, our role in the society will keep on growing. In army also, during this outbreak, we were called, the Remount and Veterinary Corps were called by the army to help the Army Medical Corps during the COVID-19 outbreak. And within that COVID-19 duration, most of the people will not be aware that the Remount and Veterinary Corps developed a specialty of dog which was known as COVID detection dog, and it was studied during the first wave, and before the second wave we have those trained dogs who used to screen 20 to 100 samples in 1 hour time, and their accuracy was up to 90%. And there were cases when the patients had initial symptoms, but the dog could detect it, the minor traces also. So we need to think, and we need to, trickle our mind to what next, and what next. That is how we'll grow. Otherwise, as Dr. Mudassir was saying, and those of you who have interacted with me, I always tell, there are 4 drugs in veterinary profession. You give all 4, by and large the patient will be okay. And even if it is not okay, he will not tell the owner that I've got a pain in my stomach. So it was in 2020, during the framework of COVID-19, that OIA recognized veterinary workers as healthcare workers, and then they highlighted the role of veterinary profession for community health. And to tell you frankly, this World Veterinary Day is not only the day of celebration, it is the recognition of the tireless dedication, compassion and expertise which has been demonstrated by the veterinarians from last so many years. And we all play a very important role in carrying forward their vision, their thought, their hard work, because I've been practicing veterinary profession for 2 decades, but I have got young students who have the lead now. They are going to lead from the front to pursue this concept of One Health, and
highlight the importance of veterinary profession. Otherwise, we will remain at the level we are, will not grow further. And as we all know, India is a country where the backbone of the economy is agriculture and animal husbandry. And the veterinarians have got a very important role in the backbone of economy and in the development of economy. So the traditional roles which we have, in addition to traditional roles, we need to promote the One Health approach, interconnectedness of animal, human, environmental health, to collaborate with public health professionals, policy makers, and other stakeholders to address these zoonotic diseases, antimicrobial resistance, other health challenges that affect both animals and humans. By working together in these disciplines, veterinarians can protect public health and promote sustainable development. But nowadays, I'm sorry, but I see a different trend in the young veterinarians. I have been interacting with the students from last, I can say, 3-4 years. Before this, I was in NCC Hisar, where I used to interact with students there, and now whenever I get a chance to interact with students of your college, the focus is changing nowadays. From a traditional veterinarian, the students are gradually being carried away to the most glamorous small animal practice. I know there are obvious reasons to it. Small animal practice has got lot more dividends than a large animal practitioner. But we must remember that our duty as a veterinarian is not confined to our hospital or a clinic wall. It is multidimensional. Unless and until we reach out to the farmers, we reach out to the owners who own the animal and educate them. If everybody goes to small animal practice, then who will do the extension work? It is very important to guide the owners. So we must collaborate with all facets of veterinary profession, sheep husbandry, animal husbandry, and then with the extension workers and with the extension workers of Department of Agriculture also, so that we give a fair opinion to the farmers which can actually help them in developing their livestock. So in the end, today as we celebrate the World Veterinary Day, let us reaffirm our commitment to the profession and welfare of all the animals. Let us pledge to continue striving for excellence and in everything we do to embrace innovation, scientific advancement, and never to lose sight of the profound impact we have on the nation and the society. To all the fellow veterinarians, I extend my deepest gratitude for your unwavering dedication, professionalism. Together, we shall work towards a future where an animal receives the care and compassion as it deserves, and where the bond between human and animals is celebrated and cherished. Thank you. Happy World Veterinary Day once again. Jai Hind.
So much, sir. Now comes the most awaited moment of any function in Skuast. To listen to our dynamic Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Nazir Ahmad Ganai, a man of distinct vision and a fountainhead of illuminating ideas and knowledge, a great inspiration of us. It's my privilege and honor to invite Chief Guest of today's function, Professor Nazir Ahmad Ganai, sir, for his pearls of wisdom.
Thank you, dear. A very special guest we have with us, Colonel S.K. Daya, the Commandant of the Advanced Field Veterinary Hospital, Srinagar. And I am thankful to him that he accepted our invitation, and also thanks to Colonel Daya that he had enabled one internship for our graduate students at the clinics here and provided all sorts of facility there. We thank you very much, Colonel Daya, and the kind of the environment you provided them and the kind of grooming and inspiration you provided to the students there. I was just witness to that. Thank you for that. Dr. Mahmoud Tufel Bande, the Dean of this faculty, Dr. Abdul Hai, Dr. Muhi, the coordinator or the secretary of that program, and a very another special guest, Dr. N.S. Udan Sahib, the vice president of the Indian Society for Advancement of Canine Medicine. And of the dais we have distinguished delegates and the faculty of this university. डॉक्टर शेब कामिल लगता है कि जग ही रहे हैं, साथ में हमारे डॉक्टर आज़ाद साहब हैं, अजमत साहब हैं, हमारे प्रेस से हमारे दोस्त लोग हैं यहाँ पे, और पीछे बैठे हमारे डॉक्टर दर्जी साहब हैं, डॉक्टर पंगोली साहब हैं, एंड अल्ताफ साहब हैं, और all distinguished faculty of this college, the students, press and media, अस्सलाम वालेकुम, वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू। तो मैं भी आपको अपनी तरफ से इस वर्ल्ड वेटनरी डे पे बहुत बहुत मुबारकबाद देता हूँ आप सब लोगों को। और ये बेसिकली अभी कर्नल दहिया साहब यहाँ पे कह के गए, दिस इज वेयर वी रीअफर्म आवर कमिटमेंट टू दिस प्रोफेशन। That is basically the purpose why we assemble on one particular day, Saturday of this month of the April. मैं मुबारकबाद देता हूँ यहाँ पे जो ऑर्गेनाइजर्स हैं इस 20th कन्वेंशन ऑफ ISACP के, उनको मुबारकबाद देता हूँ। डॉक्टर मुही आपको भी बहुत बहुत मुबारकबाद देता हूँ, जो पूरी टीम थी आपके साथ में जिन्होंने ये 3 दिन का इवेंट यहाँ पे ऑर्गेनाइज किया सक्सेसफुली, एंड यस यू रेड द प्रोसीडिंग्स ऑफ इट। Dr. Mudassir Ali gave a very explicit presentation here. He spoke on the topic. He was very specific to the topic and would explicitly speak about the challenges the profession has and the advancements the veterinarians have made and contributed. और यहाँ पे अपने कलीग थे, उन्होंने यहाँ पे आके कुछ अपना फीडबैक बताया, और फीडबैक में उन्होंने ये बताया कि that we should have some kind of a mechanism for lifelong learning of our field veterinarians. और आपकी बात बिल्कुल सही है, इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू टू कीप ऑन कमिंग टू दिस कॉलेज एंड लर्निंग। और जो नॉलेज है इट इज़ एक्सप्लोडिंग एट सच अ वेरी फास्ट पेस कि दैट इफ यू गेट ऑफ द नॉलेज आप थोड़ा सा डिस्कनेक्ट हो जाओगे तो अपने आप को लगता है कि दैट आई एम गेटिंग ऑब्सोलीट। तो आपका बिल्कुल सही, ये हमारे लिए एक चैलेंज है कि हम कुछ एक वर्चुअल जो ऑनलाइन मोड ऑफ लर्निंग फॉर आवर फील्ड वेटरिनरियंस वो होना चाहिए। मेरे ख्याल में अगर आप पूरी जम्मू एंड कश्मीर गवर्नमेंट को देखेंगे कि कंट्री का सबसे बड़ा ऑनलाइन लर्निंग प्लेटफॉर्म फॉर आवर फार्मर्स वो जेके गवर्नमेंट ने बनाया, और उसमें कंट्रीब्यूशन हम यूनिवर्सिटीज़ का ही है। तो हम तो फार्मर्स के लिए बना रहे, बट देन आई बिलीव दैट वी शुड हैव a specific and design program for our field veterinarians of two kinds. One is about updation of the knowledge which they have already taken from here, और दूसरा about the advancements of the science. जो सारे हमारे जितने भी यहाँ पे टीचर हैं, they always keep on going through the new journals, magazines, literature. You are all time abreast with the new and latest developments in it. लेकिन फील्ड वेटनरी ऑफिसर को इतना ज़्यादा समय नहीं मिलता है, but then if we just devise some kind of a mechanism, it would be a great thing for them. तो जो पीछे बैठे बड़े स्टूडेंट है यहाँ पे, तो मैं आपसे और अपने जो सारे कलीग से कहता हूँ, कल भी मैंने कहा that we are really very fortunate in the sense that we belong to this noble profession. मैं कल भी बता रहा था नोबल प्रोफेशन क्यों है, अपनी तारीफ तो ज़्यादा नहीं करनी चाहिए, लेकिन फिर भी कभी कभार अपने जो नए बच्चे पीछे बैठे हैं जो फर्स्ट ईयर, सेकंड ईयर, थर्ड ईयर में हैं, जो भी नए इस प्रोफेशन में आए हैं, और कई सारे बच्चे सोच रहे होंगे हम आए तो आगे हमें कहाँ जाना है। तो मैं आपको बता दूं, अभी जैसे डॉक्टर मुदस्सिर अली साहब यहाँ पे बता रहे थे कि प्रोफेशन की क्या अहमियत है, उसका कंट्रीब्यूशन क्या है। आप ऐसे क्रिएचर्स को डील कर रहे हैं, हैंडल कर रहे हैं कि जो ना बोल सकते हैं, ना एक्सप्रेस कर सकते हैं, ना आपसे कुछ डिमांड कर सकते हैं, और आपने ऐसे डेफ एंड डम क्रिएशंस का ख्याल रखना है। और दूसरी जो खास बात है कि हमारे पैरेलल में एक मेडिकल प्रोफेशन भी है, और उस प्रोफेशन को 4 साल, 5 साल, 6 साल एक्सपर्टीज बिल्ड करना होता है एक स्पीशीज में, मतलब इंसान में। उसको एक एनाटॉमी पढ़नी है, एक हिस्टोलॉजी पढ़नी है, एक पैथोलॉजी पढ़नी है। मैं एक मिसाल दूँ, ह्यूमरस बोन होती है, हड्डी होती है हमारी बॉडी में, एक ह्यूमरस बोन पढ़नी पड़ती है। लेकिन आप बच्चों को या हमें एक चिकन से या एक छोटे से बर्ड से लेके एलिफेंट तक के जितने भी सारे स्पीशीज हैं, सबकी हड्डियां और सबकी एनाटॉमी हमको पढ़नी पड़ती है। और अगर आप एक ही बोन को लोगे, any bone of your body, see the kind of memory you should have. और जब हम पढ़ते थे अपने कॉलेज में, जब हमें नींद नहीं आती तो कहते थे कि भाई शाम को सोते समय एनाटॉमी की बुक साथ में लिया करो तो आपको नींद अपने आप आ जाएगी, क्योंकि अगले दिन जो आपके यहाँ पे कहीं एग्जामिनेशन हुआ करता था, प्रैक्टिकल एग्जामिनेशन या कुछ, या whether it would be some slides under the microscope or it would be some kind of samples on the table, say some bones, or you have n number of animals. See, I'm just saying that from a small bird to an elephant, that is the species we are covering. तो कुछ भी रख दिया वहाँ पे, अब कितना एफर्ट करना पड़ता था कि ये याद रखने के लिए उनको कैसे हम डिस्टिंग्विश करेंगे। और हमको ये नहीं बोलना पड़ता था कि ये एक मान लो डॉग की बोन है या फलाइन बोन है, हमको उसके वो आइडेंटिफिकेशन पॉइंट्स भी बोलने पड़ते थे, है ना। हम सबको वेटरनरी आज भी आप शायद वही करते होंगे। इसी तरह से आपके माइक्रोस्कोप में कुछ रख दिया नीचे, कोई मान लीजिए लंग वाला कोई टिश्यू दिखाया, तो लंग जैसे तो कई सारे टिश्यूज हैं बॉडी में, और उसके बाद इतनी सारी स्पीशीज। दैट्स हाउ यू आर वेरी डिफरेंट। आपको तो हर स्पीशीज की अलग फिजियोलॉजी है, हर स्पीशीज की अलग पैथोलॉजी है, हर स्पीशीज की अलग एनाटॉमी है। और उसके बाद अगर आपने उनको अप्रोच करना है ट्रीटमेंट के लिए, तो डेफिनेटली when these fundamental sciences are at variance with each other, therefore the approach is also very different. That's how you are very very special. और जो काफ़ी बड़ी एडवांसमेंट्स मेडिकल साइंस में होती हैं, तो मुझे तो लगता है कि शायद जैसे अभी डॉक्टर मुदस्सिर भी बता रहे थे मेरी इंफॉर्मेशन के लिए, कि ज़्यादातर एडवांसमेंट्स पहले तो लाइफ स्टॉक और एनिमल्स में ही वैलिडेट होती हैं, और बहुत सारी जो डिस्कवरीज हैं वो यहाँ पे हमने करी है। तो ह्यूमन जो हमारे जो कलीग हैं वहाँ पे मेडिकल साइंस में, they have just one goal. Goal is human health care, just the human health care. लेकिन आप मल्टीटास्किंग, मैं अपने बच्चों को बता दूं, you are the multitasking प्रोफेशनल्स। आपको एनिमल हेल्थ केयर करना है, और वो भी डाइवर्स नंबर ऑफ एंड टाइप ऑफ स्पीशीज, और उसके साथ में ह्यूमन हेल्थ कैन नॉट बी एंश्योर्ड अनलेस यू एंश्योर द हेल्थ ऑफ द एनिमल्स। जो डेटा बताते हैं कि 70% और मोर ऑफ द डिजीजेस which are especially the infectious diseases they transfer from animals to the man. So you have to, उसके बाद जो आपकी फूड सप्लाई चेन है, उस फूड सप्लाई चेन को आपको मेंटेन करना है, जिसको हम कहेंगे बायो सेफ्टी एंड बायो सिक्योरिटी। अगर वहां पे कहीं भी हमारा कोई ब्रीच हो गया, then we can't just maintain the human health. अगर आपने इंसानों में ट्यूबरकुलोसिस को कंट्रोल करना है, you can't control the tuberculosis unless you control it in the animals. That is animal health care than the human health care. उसके बाद में you have to ensure about the food and the nutritional security of the man. हम सभी लोग जब हम सुबह यहाँ पे घर से यहाँ पे आए, हम इसीलिए यहाँ पे बैठे हुए, then we came with a very good breakfast. और आपके ब्रेकफास्ट में अगर आपका दूध नहीं है, आपका एक चिकन नहीं है, या आपका एक एग नहीं है, I believe your breakfast or your food is incomplete. So that too, with that exploding population over, जो हमारी जो फीडिंग है, जो फूड हैबिट्स चेंज हो रही हैं, और जो लोगों का जो लाइफस्टाइल बदल रहा है, तो उसमें एनिमल साइंसेस का काफ़ी बड़ा रोल है। और उसके बाद में अब जो आपका बड़ा चैलेंज है वो है अबाउट वन हेल्थ कॉन्सेप्ट। आई बिलीव दैट आई वाज जस्ट स्पीकिंग टू सम ऑफ द मेडिकल फ्रेंड्स कहीं पे SKICC में, मैं उनको बता रहा, मैंने सोचा शायद ये एक आम टर्म है, वन हेल्थ सबको पता होगा। I am telling you very honestly, there were a number of medical fellows. When I spoke about One Health, none of them would understand what is this One Health concept. Then I had to take a time and go on the dais and tell them कि आप अपना human health तब तक holistic नहीं कर सकते जब तक कि आप veterinarians के साथ आप collaborate नहीं कर सकते। From all fronts, from all levels. That's how we are very very different. और दूसरा बड़ा रीज़न जो यहाँ पीछे मेरी यंग फैकल्टी बैठी है, और जो हमारे खासकर जो यंग फैकल्टी इस यूनिवर्सिटी में और जो हमारे बच्चे हैं, मैं आपको थोड़ा सा याद दिला दूँ, यू आर अगेन वेरी फॉर्चुनेट। ये कॉलेज जब 1984 में शुरू हुआ था, नौशहरा एक यहाँ पे सोवरा के आसपास में एक जगह है, शायद कुछ बच्चों को पता होगा, वहाँ से एक कॉलेज शुरू हुआ था कुछ रेंटेड बिल्डिंग्स में, मेरे ख्याल में डिपार्टमेंट। वहाँ से कुछ 10-20 बच्चों को लेके ये कॉलेज शुरू हुआ था और उसके बाद उन्होंने यहाँ पे शिफ्ट किया था इस वाले कैंपस में एंड all the departments were housed in those animal sheds or cow shed, sheep sheds and the poultry sheds. And we had also pathology and I mean the public health, microbiology. I mean all the departments were housed there. और उस समय में जो हमारी जो फैकल्टी थी यहाँ पे मुझे अभी मैं तो नहीं जानता लेकिन आई बिलीव द फर्स्ट डीन और द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ दिस कॉलेज वाज डॉक्टर गफूर. उसके बाद डॉक्टर सलाम साहब भी रहे हैं यहाँ पे कॉलेज. And then stalwarts have led this college. They were the ones from Parvani was from Dr. Kapoor. और उसके बाद डॉक्टर रशीद साहब यहाँ पे थे. आपको नहीं पता लेकिन नाम लेना इसलिए बड़ा जरूरी है कि they are the ones who have laid the strong foundations of this college. और आज अगर हम यहाँ पे खड़े हैं, it's all because of the contributions of those stalwarts. GM वानी साहब, आप तो मेरे ख्याल में जो पीछे फैकल्टी यंग बैठी है और जो स्टूडेंट को पता ही होगा GM वानी साहब कौन है. भाई साहब जब GM वानी साहब चलते थे ना, कहते हैं ना कि वो परिंदे भी अपने जो है ना वो पर नहीं हिला सकते थे. When he would just move. He was such a charismatic leader and that is faculty he led and was he provided. बाश साहब यहाँ पे आए थे, then किरमानी साहब थे, शकील साहब थे, डॉक्टर सजाद साहब थे. उसके बाद जो हमारे यहाँ पे स्टालवार्ट्स बैठे हैं, डॉक्टर दर्जी साहब की एक प्रेजेंटेशन जब रिसर्च काउंसिल में हुआ करती थी, so I mean no detailed methodical and a kind of presentations and those kind of high-end photography he would do that point of a time. और मुझे तो लगता है कि इनकी प्रेजेंटेशन का सबको इंतजार रहता था कि अब दर्जी साहब आके इतने बड़े खूबसूरत फोटोग्राफ्स वहाँ पे दिखाएंगे और उसको अपने हाई फाई टर्मिनोलॉजी में जब वो बता दी तो सब लोगों को डर लग जाता था, पता नहीं आगे वो क्या दिखाएंगे. एक नॉर्मल टिश्यू और एक एबनॉर्मल टिश्यू जो पैथोलॉजी में जो कुछ होता है. So I'm telling you very honestly, faculties has reached to this level. It's all because of these guys who have helped us to be here. अगर इस हाल में है तो it's not happened only because of me, but then slowly we reached to here. लेकिन आप पे एक responsibility. आपको जो है you did not just say that we have reached to some kind of a climax and there is nothing beyond that. जिससे हम अंग्रेजी में टर्मिनोलॉजी आते हैं कंप्लेसेंसी. मैं थोड़ा सा इसको यहाँ बताऊँ कि शायद इस फैकल्टी में कुछ कंप्लेसेंसी का एक भुगतान आया है. And I believe when you talk about the complacency and if you believe that you are very superior and you have reached to the climax, I am telling to every single person, any person or any society which believes that it has reached to the climax, believe me, that is a start of the fall of that society. There is no end, no limit to the expansions, to the developments. Parallelly, we have so many other faculties. We are opening up some very new programs. I am telling you very honestly. 6 साल तक 6 प्रोग्राम थे हमारे यहाँ पे अंडरग्रेजुएट और दिस ईयर अब हमारे 12 प्रोग्राम हैं. We are going to start some new kind of challenging programs. कल को ये ना पता चले कि लोग कह रहे हैं हम तो वही जाएंगे, यहाँ पे कोई नहीं आएगा. मैं एक बार कश्मीर यूनिवर्सिटी में था. I was just heading that university for a while. Definitely that university has contributed tremendously in the education scenario of the whole of the Jammu and Kashmir. और जितने भी सारे बड़े बड़े लोग हैं इस वक्त सीनियर पोजीशंस में, दे आर द अलुमनी ऑफ द यूनिवर्सिटी. लेकिन मैंने फिर उनको बताया दैट इज द स्टोरी ऑफ द पास्ट ओल्डन डेज. अब ये बात नहीं है. नाउ देयर आर यूनिवर्सिटीज कमिंग अप इन पैरेलल टू योर यूनिवर्सिटी. देयर इज सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटीज आर देयर, इस्लामिक यूनिवर्सिटी है, then there are universities in Jammu division, माता वैष्णो देवी यूनिवर्सिटी है, जम्मू यूनिवर्सिटी है. और मैंने उनको बताया कि और आपके पड़ोस में एक यूनिवर्सिटी है जिसका नाम है स्कॉस्ट कश्मीर. आप बिलीव नहीं करेंगे, आप बिलीव नहीं करेंगे, जब मैंने स्कॉस्ट कश्मीर का नाम दे न्यू इट, उस वक्त उनकी थोड़ी शिवरिंग हो गई. Telling you honestly, I'm telling you very honestly, every single person in whole of the Jammu and Kashmir, in entire Indian agriculture research and education system believes that it is not the name of the university, it is the brand. We are the brand and we have so far been able to just reach to there. But that does not mean that you will say that हम तो चौथे नंबर पे आ गए और हमने कोई बहुत बड़ा तीर मारा है. ऐसा नहीं है. It's not that we will only reach to the number one. Even if we have set a target for ourselves to be the number one, but then that's not the limit. That is when you will just compare yourselves amongst the few universities in the country. That's not the end of it. Then the horizons, then they become very wide and unlimited. You have to go global. Let me share with you, my friends, when we started that first international education fair in New Delhi, मेरे ख्याल में 21 फरवरी 2023 को हमने दिल्ली में किया, and that too in the heart of the Ministry of External Affairs में. और हमारे उस डायस पे आदि जो कैबिनेट की गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की वो बैठी थी, and the External Affairs Minister would say that I am seeing this kind of event first time happening out of 1013 universities, and they took a lead from us. उनको वहां से एक लीड मिल गई कि अगर एक छोटी सी यूनिवर्सिटी एक छोटे से इलाके से आके दिल्ली में आके बोलती है कि भाई वी शुड इनवाइट द स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम अदर कंट्रीज टू कम टू अस, व्हाई शुड वी नॉट डू इट. और आज मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एजुकेशन गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने एक बहुत बड़ा एक मिशन प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट किया, उसका नाम है स्टडी इन इंडिया प्रोग्राम, SII. और उस स्टडी इन इंडिया प्रोग्राम में दे आर गोइंग एंड होल्डिंग the education fairs in the foreign country, foreign nations. We were some time back participating in one education fair in Bangladesh. और आज हमारी वेबसाइट पे we are registered on SII, Study in India program. 30 students from Bangladesh have shown their interest of coming to this university. इसी तरह से आज हमारी एक टीम साउथ अफ्रीका गई. They are visiting some 5 countries in Africa. Target here, they will go and then present their university, our university, to the people in Africa and tell them that you come to us. Similarly, we are going to other countries, but that is the initiative of the Ministry of Education, जिसके लिए उन्होंने लीड आप Skuast-K कश्मीर के इनिशिएटिव से ली. तो मैं ये कह रहा था कि being fourth is not now kind of being very proud of. We have set a target to be the number one, but again, I believe that that's not something we must say that we achieve and then nothing else. We have set our targets to become a global university. That's why we took a lead 2 years before that we should become global, and that's how the government of India has took a lead from us, and they are going country to country telling the people from around the world, you come to India, you come to Jammu and Kashmir, because I told the government of India bringing people from outside of the world to Kashmir means that we are creating our own ambassadors. अगर हमने दुनिया को यह बताना है कि भाई हम कौन हैं, मैं तो हर जगह नहीं जा सकता हूं ये बोलने के लिए भी हम कोई कीसमान खान है. वी हैव टू हैव देम हियर. और खास बात कश्मीर में ये बात है, वन इज दैट यूर यूनिवर्सिटी इज अ गुड यूनिवर्सिटी, द अदर द कश्मीर इज इटसेल्फ अ ब्रांड. और कुदरत ने हमें इतना खूबसूरत एनवायरनमेंट बख्शा है. कहाँ है ऐसा जो बच्चे यहाँ के those are born here and then they are here and you don't know, you आपको इस बारे में आपको इस बारे में कोई वो जो है ना इसकी अहमियत का पता नहीं है, हम कहाँ पे हैं. और उस सबसे ज्यादा जो खास बात हम में है, that's what's called as Kashmirian. हमारा अपना एक own culture है of love, of respect, of tolerance, of patience, because this is a land of the Sufis and the sons. I told that time to the government of India that through agricultural education, I want to also teach them our own culture, the culture of Kashmir, and tell people outside of the world that Kashmir is not just a piece of land. तो मैं इसलिए यहाँ पे बता रहा हूँ कि आपकी गोल सेटिंग बड़ी होनी चाहिए. So we have to become global. We have to be global. उसके लिए फिर आपको थोड़ा सा काफी ज्यादा जोश अपने आप में लाना होगा. My dear friends, I will not take too much of a time. मैं हर बार जब भी आता हूँ तो कोशिश करता हूँ आपको ये बताने के लिए कि अगर आप में एक डायरेक्शन है तभी आप कहीं जा सकते हैं, पहुँच सकते हैं. If you have a goal, you have a target, and you have laid down the strategy, फिर आपके लिए बड़ा आसान है वहां तक पहुँचना. अगर हम डायरेक्शनलेस हैं, then ये जिंदगी बहुत छोटी है, तो फिर हम जो है ना इधर उधर घूम फिर के अपना वक्त गुजार के जो है ना, यहाँ तो रहना किसी को नहीं, everyone has limited time and space, we have to just leave this world. And I have been telling that every single person who comes to this earth has a purpose. और खुदा ऊपर से नहीं आएगा हमको ये बताने के लिए कि भाई आपका क्या पर्पस है। उसने हमें ये ऊपर वाली जो स्टोरी दी है, सोचने वाली स्टोरी, उसने बोला कि इसमें आपको सोचना है, and you find the purpose why I have brought you to this world. And I am telling you very honestly, because we are of a particular faith, we would be asked for and we would be accountable for that. For that purpose for which we have come to this world. और हमारा purpose क्या है? That we contribute through science, through education, through knowledge, to the growth and the development of this state, of this unity, and to the nation. And see that why should not we have a respectable place in the global community? वो कैसे होगा? How do you see which are the nations we have that respectable place? Are the ones who have control on that information, who are the ones who generate knowledge, who generate information, and who discover God. ये बड़ी दर में मैं इसको ज्यादा एलॉबरेट नहीं करता, हो जाना। They are the ones. God will be feeling very pleased of them. That जब उसने कायनात बनाई थी, अगर उसे इंसान ही बनाया होता, उसको उसकी कौन तारीफ करता, कौन मानता उसे? तो पता था कि भाई मैं इतना बड़ा हूं तो मुझे कुछ लोग, कुछ क्रिएचर चाहे जो मेरी यहाँ पे जिक्र करें, लेकिन सिर्फ जिक्र करने और माला फेरने से कुछ नहीं होता है। We have to discover truth, and when you discover truth, that's God. My dear friends, knowledge is the power, and we have set a mission for this, a vision for this university, that we want to be the innovation-led foreign university of the country. उसका मतलब क्या हुआ? Innovation से मतलब है कि knowledge generation. अभी तक बदकिस्मती से पूरे हिंदुस्तान कंट्री में, और हम भी, we are all time just looking for the people outside of their continent, Asian continent, कि भाई बाहर यूरोप और अमेरिका में लोग किस तरह से क्या सबक पढ़ते हैं, क्या इंफॉर्मेशन, क्या नॉलेज जनरेट करते हैं, हम वो पढ़ेंगे। But we have to now find a purpose for ourselves, that we must be the equal contributors to the knowledge, information, technology, and the innovations. और जिस दिन हम ऐसा कर पाए, उसी दिन से दुनिया के कौमों में हमारा शुमार होगा। But I'm telling you, very fortunately, we are at the most right and appropriate time. I remember when I would go for BVS in 1986 to Bikaner, the days before 90s and after 90s, the watershed moment this nation witnessed in 1990s of the reforms it brought. A country which was born in 1947 with 95% illiteracy. 1947 में सिर्फ 5% पढ़े लिखे थे हिंदुस्तान में। आपकी जो औसत आयु है, I mean the age, it was just 27 years. 90% of the population would go off food in the evenings, no second food. That was our condition. And see where you are today. तो हमको एक प्लेटफॉर्म मिला है यहाँ पे, रेडी प्लेटफॉर्म। When your पेट is filled, जब पेट भरा हो ना, we can start thinking some. That's how the agriculture has made a contribution and a difference to the nation. Now is our time. आपके लिए आगे बढ़ना और भी आसान है। हमारे ज़माने में मेरे ख्याल में मेरे सारे कलीग, मेरे साथ यहाँ पे जो सीनियर कलीग, उनको पता है कि जब हम मास्टर्स की वो डेजर्टेशन लिखते थे ना, तो वो पेपर उसमें वो बनाते थे, कार्ड बना, रेफरेंस कार्ड है। आज तो वो technological advance. So my dear friends, we have to be part of this technological revolution. This world is going to be very fast. और हर किसी का एक specific time है. If you lose your time, you are not just doing any, you are doing an harm to the society, लेकिन साथ में आप अपने आप को भी नुकसान कर रहे हो। So please come out of the slumber. Get up. अपने आप को एक discipline बना लो। मैं ज़्यादा ये वो कोई philosophy को तो मैं हूँ नहीं, लेकिन मैं इतना ही कहूँगा, please for all the students who are there and for all the faculty, ये जो आपका ये वाला है ना, ये this is the biggest enemy of yours. इसका जितना कम इस्तेमाल आप करेंगे उतना ज़्यादा आपको फायदा है। शाम को मेरा मोबाइल 10 बजे ऑटोमेटिकली ऑफ हो जाता है। इसमें एक है, इसमें Apple में एक कमांड शमांड है, इट डज नॉट ऑपरेट आफ्टर 10। गेट अप अर्ली इन द मॉर्निंग, डू द मेडिटेशन यू वांट टू डू, कोई मस्जिद जाए, कोई मंदिर जाए, कोई गुरुद्वारे जाए, बट स्टार्ट योर डे वेरी अर्ली, बट दैट्स ओनली पॉसिबल इफ यू डोंट यूज इट। मैं अपने बच्चों से कह रहा हूँ, पीछे खासकर आप तो सीधे लोग हैं जो पीछे जो बच्चे बैठे हैं, व्हाई आई एम सेइंग टू यू, आपको अपने पेरेंट्स ने यहाँ भेजा है, उनको क्या पता कि भाई आप वहां पे जाके हॉस्टल में रात भर क्या करते हैं और क्या देखते हैं, अपना समय आप कैसे बर्बाद कर रहे हैं। तो एक डिसिप्लिन लाइफ बना के मुझे तो लगा कि वो हमारी पहली शुरुआत है कि अगर हमने जिंदगी में कामयाब होना है, डिसिप्लिन लाइफ। और उसके बाद गोल सेटिंग, गोल सेटिंग में फाइंडिंग द पर्पस ऑफ लाइफ, आवर लाइफ। और अगर मुझे कोई बोले, मैं अक्सर आपसे कहता रहता हूँ हमेशा भी, इफ यू आर इन दिस यूनिवर्सिटी और माय फैकल्टी और माय स्टूडेंट्स, देयर आर 3 वेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चंस आपको जिनका उत्तर, उनका आंसर ढूंढना होगा। फर्स्ट से हु एम आई, मैं कौन हूं, पहचानो अपने आप को। वेयर एम आई, मैं कहां हूं। एंड व्हाट फॉर आई एम हियर। ये तो आज हम यूनिवर्सिटी में व्हाट फॉर आई एम हियर है, बट देन यू कैन आल्सो जस्ट इसको एलॉबरेट करके आप बता सकते हो कि व्हाट फॉर आई एम हियर, व्हाट फॉर आई एम इन दिस वर्ल्ड। Try to find the answers. If you are able to just find the answers to these very 3 simple questions, I am telling you, आपके सारे confusion दूर है और आपको एक दिशा अपने आप मिल जाएगी। और दिशा मिलने से आप अपने आप को सही तौर से गाइड कर पाएंगे, आप अपनी फैमिली, अपने बच्चों को सही तौर से गाइड करेंगे और आप अपनी सोसाइटी को सही तौर से गाइड करेंगे। क्योंकि विधि में सोसाइटी में इसलिए आपको बता रहा हूँ बहुत जोर देंगे कि अगर मैं अपनी जगह में कितना ही स्मार्ट क्यों न हो, बट इफ माय एनवायरनमेंट सोसाइटी इज नॉट गुड, देन दैट्स यूजलेस। थैंक यू माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, गॉड ब्लेस यू ऑल, एंजॉय योरसेल्फ। लास्ट में तो मैं आपको जाते जाते बताऊं कि अगर कोई मेरे से पूछता है कि व्हाट इज योर पर्सनल बिगेस्ट गोल, मैं बताऊं यार माय पर्सनल गोल इज टू बी, चोर भी हो सकता है, आपका अपना कुछ हो सकता है, मुझे नहीं पता। अब मैं खुश कैसे रहूं, दैट इज अप टू मी। There are ways to find happiness. तो खुश रहना बहुत जरूरी है और आपके चेहरों पे मुस्कान होना बहुत जरूरी है, आपके गेस्चर्स पॉजिटिव होना बहुत जरूरी है। मैं आपसे कहूंगा कि जिसके पास पैसा है वो हज वज को भी जाए, लेकिन एक बार कुछ कंट्रीज है, जैसे नेदरलैंड एक कंट्री है, मैं 2-3 कंट्री 2-4 में गया हूँ, एक डच में भी गया हूँ। आप रास्ते से चलो, अगर 1000 लोग आपको क्रॉस करें, मतलब यू आर गोइंग ऑन फुट ऑन द रोड, अगर 1000 लोग हैं, every single person who would pass by you would say hello, hi, how are you, and give you a smile. They are considered to be the most decent people in the world. So we are also very decent people, I tell you very honestly. We are also, but we should be also very good. Thank you very much and God bless you.
It's always a delight to hear you, sir, enlightening us with your precious presence, more special. As someone has rightly said, until one has loved an animal, a part of one's soul remains unawakened. To awaken a part of your soul by loving animals. This is the crux and takeaway from today's event. Now I would like to invite one of the senior professors and President SVSA, Professor Abdulhai, for the formal vote of thanks.
Afternoon, Vice Chancellor of the Skuast-K, Mr. Nazira, Colonel, Senior Professor, Professor Nazir Ahmed, whom I am attached from 90. I was doing my master's at that time and he was doing. So we have very close as our dean, Professor Mahmoud, organizing secretary. My dear colleagues, students. I am highly thankful that despite all the bad weather, you have made it. That is the success of any program when there is a lot. I am also thankful to committee members who made the last time we have seen performance while we have some tried our level best to overcome the. I thank you all for your presence. My request is that the participants, the faculty members, the non-teaching members, they will go to proceed to the den while the lunch is ready. And our students, they will move towards the faculty outreach center and they will collect their refreshment packs there. Thank you very much.